Hello and welcome. This is Rooflemonger, and my friends, this is, as you can see on the screen, this is my tier list for DnF Duel. It's been a while since I've done a tier list, but I think now is the time, and we're going to talk about it. So I'm going to go over all the characters. I'm going to give you my explanations. If we need to hop over to gameplay for a minute, we will, just to explain in more detail. And right before we get into it, though, we do have a sponsor for today's video, and that sponsor is Dungeon Fighter Online, the parent game of DnF Duel. So, hey, let's talk about it. Did you know that DnF Duel is completely based off of Dungeon Fighter Online? Dungeon Fighter Online is a legendary free-to-play 2D MMORPG, fast-paced beat-em-up style with a retro pixel-style aesthetic. Over 700 million people have tried out Dungeon Fighter Online over the years, so hey, why not you, right? 16 base classes, every class has multiple advanced classes, every class and advanced classes have their own unique playstyle, techniques, and stories, and new updates and content come out every 2 weeks for the game. Also, right now, there's lots of new content. The level cap has been raised from 100 to 110. There's new areas, new dungeons, new everything, and you can even take an all-new character and boost them to level 100, just so you can get to the new content right away. See the inspiration behind DnF Duel and give Dungeon Fighter Online a try today. Alright, so as you can see here, we have the tier list, and we're going to talk about it. Now, as always, you guys in the comments, give me a break. This is my opinion and my opinion only. You are absolutely free to disagree. So don't worry about it. There'll be the time in the future where you are not free to disagree. That'll be Street Fighter 6. My word will be law. There will be no disagreeing on tiers then. But for now, you are allowed to disagree. So if you want to disagree, if you want to post, hey, I think this, that, and the other, by all means, post in the comments. Also, if you just want to see the completed tier list, there'll be a timestamp somewhere below here. Skip to the end of the video with the full and complete tier list. Feel free to do it. Although if you skip to the end, you owe me a like. So hit that like button. And when you get mad at my placements, you're going to walk back and see what I said about the video anyway. So that all works out in the end. So now let's cut the faff. We got S+, S, A, B, and C. Because I believe there is very high tiers and there is low tiers. This ain't going to be no Dragon Ball tier list where the lowest possible tier is like A+ or some stuff. There's some characters that definitely need some help. So, our first character, Swiftmaster, is S+, and he is the only character in the S+ tier. I don't even feel I need to elaborate too much on that too much. And God bless the person who just subscribed. Thank you very much. As we learn more and more and more about the game, Swiftmaster is clearly in a tier of his own. Like, even other characters that are very good. Like, I watched a set with Goichi and he beat this Hitman player who was a good Hitman player, like 60-1. When the Hitman player got a clean hit, he can straight up TOD from full health, the Swiftmaster, because he is in the lowest possible health bracket, right? But that doesn't matter. If your character's in the lowest possible health bracket, but you never get hit, it doesn't really matter, does it? Think like Seth in Street Fighter 4. Seth has impossibly low health. And God bless you, friend, for gifting sub. Thank you very much. But think of Seth. Seth has the lowest health in Street Fighter 4, right? And it doesn't matter at all. Because only if you get hit does having low health actually matter in the least. And I think he's much the same. Oh my lord. Lord Toxic, thank you. Swiftmaster. Absolutely. Thank you very much. It's a very generous friend. But yeah, so I'm not going to belabor the point too much more. Just Swiftmaster, at every range, he's a threat. Even if you're another good character, let alone if you're one of the bad characters. But even if you're another good character, he'll get 2 or 3 turns for every 1 turn you get. And if you're a bad character, he's going to get like 5 or 6 to 7 or 8 turns for every 1 turn you get, right? So his damage is good. He controls every part of the screen. His utility is through the roof. There is no question, as far as I'm concerned, unequivocally, Swiftmaster is number 1 with a bullet. Done. Now, since we like extremes here, I got this handy C tier here, right? And this is going to drive me nuts. This is going to drive me actually nuts to say this, but the launcher, I think, is C tier. So let's switch over to the game here for a second. Let's switch over to the game here. So launcher. If you know anything I do, like, you know, I play basically every fighting game, right? One of the lesser crossovers in the fighting game community, though, is the NRS scene and anime fighters. Like, I'm one of the few guys that does both. There's a few. But I'm one of the few guys that does both, right?
I want total power!
Oh, we got total power here.
When Swiftmaster players mess up and drop their combos, it doesn't matter because they get a guaranteed mix-up from it.
Exactly. When you drop a combo with Swiftmaster, all you're doing is creating another reset. Okay, so I come from an NRS background. I play a lot of NRS games. When I was at my highest peak competitively, I was playing NRS, right? Now, this character, you've heard horror stories. Oh my god, Deathstroke. Oh my god, Deadshot. They killed fighting games, right? Look at this friggin' character. Like, if this character existed in an NRS game, she would put Deathstroke and Deadshot to shame. Like, all the crazy crap she can do, right? It's absolutely berserk. It's nuts. And in this game, bottom tier. Because that is how savage this game is. This game is rude in a way other fighting games are not. This character, if you put her into a game like an NRS game where it is infamous for the zoning, where people stop playing the game because they can't handle the zoning, she would outzone those zoners. But in this game, it's not good enough. It's not good enough. And that's insane to say. Like, she's tall, which is not in her favor. Like, the zoning's good on paper, but the damage is very low. Her overall damage output is among the lowest in the game. And in a game where a lot of characters get 50% off basic B&Bs, low damage is not allowed, right? So yeah. Like, once again, I didn't mean to belabor the points too much here, but in any other game, the launcher would be an insane top-tier terror. In DnF Duel, considering the wild power levels of the characters in DnF Duel, I think she's bottom tier. So yeah, I know that's crazy, but to me, them's the breaks. Let's bust out a couple more that I don't think too many people are going to argue. Striker, I think, not as strong as Swiftmaster, but definitely high tier. We've made a couple of videos highlighting it here on the channel, so you can go check out other videos if you want. The fact that high damage, high mobility, very high pressure. If you don't got 100 mana, you might as well have not blocked because she will guard break you, right? She's just a terror. Like, the one thing where she has a weakness is her ability to navigate the screen against good zoning is hard, but there's not too much actually good zoning. I feel like the character that zones her out the hardest isn't even one that you would consider a proper zoner. I actually think that the troubleshooter zones her out the hardest of all the characters. So, because she can't deal with the grenade. Like, she really can't. And even if she rolls past a grenade, he's still going to be slightly advantaged because grenade's really strong. But yeah, besides that, she's everything you could want in a rushdown character. High pressure, good enough mix, against certain characters, instant overheads and the full combos. Guard break you for free. She's just good. She's just good. And speaking of just good, and by the way, these tiers are not ordered. I'm going to put the Hitman. I don't think Striker is better than Hitman. If I thought Striker was better than Hitman, they wouldn't be in the same tier. So this is not an ordered tier list. If you had 4 different characters, and I think this character is better than those 4, better than like, if I hate that concept, just to put it out there, because if you think all these characters are better than the other characters, what on earth are they doing in the same tier? So no tier list in order here. They're in the same tier for a reason, because they're roughly of comparable power. Anyways, besides his usual stuff, it's good. He's the only character that can instant overhead every single character in the game, which is very handy. He needs a conversion to play off it, but still. Decent enough range, decent enough control, plus on block special. And in fact, once you enter Awakening, you should... Oh no, I'm almost dead. Except it's an even match now. Your reversals become safe against most of the cast. Some characters, if you reverse point blank and then go into Awakening, they can reverse you back. It depends character to character. But for most of the cast, if they're even a couple pixels out, then they can't do anything about it at all. If you get the Awakening follow-up without the first hit, that's Touch of Death on half the cast. Because you also get to do the super at the end. His super is also very good and punishes anything on you whiff because it's a full screen super. Like, there's not much to talk about. He's obviously incredibly good. So now let's go to another character I think is S rank that is maybe not as apparent. And yes, Lord Toxic in the chat. Hitman is one of the characters I highly suggest. If you have him almost dead, but he's about to enter Awakening, drop your combo. On purpose, drop your combo. So that way he doesn't enter Awakening. You can kill him on the next hit, right? But him in Awakening is a different character. So anyways, Hitman speaks for himself. Now another character I don't see people putting as high of a tier as I'm about to. This is a character I guess I believe in a little bit more than everyone else. I think Troubleshooter is also in this tier. Why? Well, hey, let's hop back into the game for a split second. Why not? So a lot of people, I see them put him like kind of mid tier, and I'm going to explain some of my reasoning here. I don't want to just put him there and just not explain it, right? So obviously his range is very big. A lot of characters can low profile it, but between stand medium, crouch medium, his range is very big. The biggest thing I guess I could say, without going more into the weeds, just the grenades. The grenades, like if you do ground grenade, as long as you're like a decent distance away, it's plus on block. Air grenade, a lot of characters cannot even begin to contest air grenade. They just can't. Air grenade is too much for a lot of the cast. And you can hide behind this all day. And if they run in and roll, guess what? You landed before the roll's finished and you're still advantaged in their face. This move, this is like, since it's technically a normal, this is probably the best normal in the game. And you can win games just off this alone, because like at the very least, even if you're all the way far back on screen, you didn't get anything, you can always get a shotgun blast off it, right? And when you're closer and it connects, you can like get juggles, go into like whatever combos, net, we'll talk about net in a second here. Good thing I dropped the combo in a video, right? That really helps my cause. But yeah, man, grenade is so strong. All the net combos, all the kind of stuff, that's strong. And you can end every single combo in shotgun in the net. So you can completely control their wake up. And it's a guessing game in his favor. He has to commit 0. The worst for happening to him, if he commits 0, is you just block the explosion, right? But be it catches you in a throw. He is able to do fun stuff here, like say we have gray health on, right? So when he has gray health, he can do things like jump convert, instant overhead. So he can force you into a mix-up while you're worrying about the net exploding, and like just so much. And the fact that he gets 30% more damage while the buff is up is really good. I can just edit the video and pretend I did a combo first try, and we'll see. If we do, I'll leave this part in though, and then people will be really confused and be like, "Wait, I didn't notice an edit." So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, so his pressure is really good. Now here's the real thing. I have brought this up in a different video, but his passive is almost as good as the Hitman's. One, while it does not make his reversal safe, and it really does matter which character you're fighting against. Vanguard is a bad example, but it adds pushback, and a lot of pushback, to his reversal. Some characters with this amount of pushback, they actually can't do anything. They're screwed, because the pushback is intense. Once again here, if you do not have the trade up, the pushback is whatever. But if you do have the trade up, the pushback gets intense. So that makes his reversal safer. And here's the real thing. It's the comeback factor. It's the comeback factor. So if you have the trade up, every single shotgun is a potential touch of death, depending on what's going on. At the bare minimum, you're just going to get a lot of damage. So let's see if we can try out an example here. So this is a basic example. Basic! As basic can be. And what is this going to do? 683 damage. And you can do better versions. You can do better versions of this combo. This is the easy version. So just shy of 700, let's say, right? And what is your crime to eat almost 700 damage? You ate a projectile with 95% range of the screen that hits all points in between. And if you jumped, you're getting hit. If you rolled, you might still get hit. So that's what happened. So the trait allows that stuff to happen because it turns this into a wall bounce, and this wall bounce is OTG okay. So all of a sudden, when he has trade up, you have to navigate this monstrous move. This absolute terror of a move. And he will get super at the end of it. So it's not that the floor is lava, it's the screen is lava, you know? So yeah, between that, his big buttons, his big damage, his big corner carry, his ability to pressure, he has self buffs, he can do so much more damage. He can give self-convert combos into like instant overheads and do all that stuff. I think Troubleshooter is in the high tier and absolutely belongs there. I wonder where the Inquisitor lands. Well, that's quite the question, isn't it? This one I think is also going to be different than most tier lists because I think the Inquisitor belongs in C tier. The Inquisitor, from everything I've seen, from my own testing, from playing against other character, like playing as Inquisitor, playing against Inquisitors, I am unimpressed. Her range is, in a game where range is titanic, her range is whatever. Her damage, sorry, it's nothing special. Her options, yeah. And she is tied for least amount of health in the game. Her health is in the Swift Master tier. So yeah, Swift Master, if you catch him, he blows up, right? But she's not Swift Master, she's Inquisitor. So when you have a character that is just kind of ho-hum across the board and tied for least amount of health in this game, she has to be bottom tier. I see no other possible way. You say she's mid-tier in your opinion? Well, look what I consider the mid-tier here. We're going to get into it. I think Kunoichi's mid-tier, and she is nowhere on that level. Not even possible. Nowhere on that level, right? So I think Inquisitor, with the fact she has nothing that's scary, her everything is average at best, and is tied for least amount of possible health in the game, she is low tier. To me. Feel free to disagree. I won't stop you. Let's go into kind of mid-low here. And I'm going to put the grappler here. So, the grappler, I put a lot of time into the character, right? I feel very confident. And yes, I know some guy won a tournament on day 2 online. It doesn't matter. If that shit mattered, I remember when Street Fighter V launched and like for the first 2 weeks, Graham Wolf was winning a lot of tournaments with Vega. Is Vega top tier in Season 1 of Street Fighter V? Just because he won a tournament or two? Obviously not. He's one of the worst characters in Season 1. So winning a tournament online day 2, or like, it's nice, congratulations, but it does not determine tier value. Let's get real. Grappler is slow. He has like basically the worst range in the game. He does have an above average damage. I will give him that, right? His passive is the worst passive in the game. His passive hurts him. He is worse. Like we talked Troubleshooter and Hitman, how game-changing their passives are. Grappler gets worse when his passive is up because he barely takes any gray health damage, which means when it's time to regenerate, it regenerates instantly. And your potential for conversions is gone. You lose your potential for convert, like light stomp into convert. Plus on block, full combo, and hit. Great. Awesome. And now it's not an option because you regenerate too fast because there's this much health. So his passive is actually works against your game plan. But yeah, so the fact that he's slow, no range, he has to work his way in. Everyone has more range than him. Like, if you want to argue it, I'll entertain your argument why you think some people think he's high tier. I definitely don't. And I'm perplexed because I don't, like, if you think he's high tier, I think, do you ever play this character? You ever suffered how he suffered? Because every one opportunity he gets, your opponent gets 3. That is just how this game is for him. I think he's super fun. He's my favorite character in this game to play. I think he's super fun. He's everything I want out of a grappler. But yeah, there you go. He feels like he's from a different game. He feels like he came from somewhere else and was put into this crazy cutthroat anime game. That's the thing about the grappler. Yeah, he grabbles you. He's good at grappling, but maybe one day, and maybe if you're watching this video a year from now, I don't know. Maybe things have changed. But he's just not great. But once again, even though he's not great, he's my favorite character. I love playing him. So I think he's one of the most fun characters in the game. But tier-wise, nah. Now, let's go tier-wise again. Dragon Knight. That's going to go high tier again. It's another one. I feel most of the top tiers in this game are pretty self-explanatory. She's an absolute terror. She's a threat at every point of the screen. Her pressure is insane. Her combos get crazy. Her combo carry, she can go corner to corner with the dragon very easily. There's just very little she doesn't have the option to do. Like, realistically, right? And her passive also is one of the best passives in the game. Her mana regeneration is cracked out when she has her passive up. If you are in Awakening with the Dragon Knight, you're never running out of mana ever again. Like, that's pretty much how good her passive is. So, well, I don't know. Not to belabor the point and extend the video, I think it's mostly self-explanatory. She's good at just about every single aspect of the game. There's not too many DKs on most levels, because I do think she is harder to play than the average character. It is definitely much easier to mash with the Hitman or Striker than it is to learn like the block strings and nuances of the Dragon Knight. But still, regardless, I think very strong. I'm kind of saving Crusader because I know people are going to get mad. So instead of... let's just finish this out. This is my final top tier character. The Berserker. So the Berserker... At first, like the betas or whatever, because we're all mashing, right? We didn't know what we were doing in the betas. And then the game came out, and then I was like, maybe Berserker's a little better than I thought he was. And then, the game's out, we play, we learn more. And now the Berserker, oh my god, he's so much better than I thought he was. Oh my lord. You are in block string hell against this character. He is another character that can very reasonably guard break you as well. It's basically, he's always plus. It feels like it's always his turn. If you're a character with a poor wake up, you are extra screwed against this character because he just does the slash on your wake up, and there's jack shit you can do about it. Like, another character, I don't want to belabor the point. His strengths are immediate and apparent. The range, the damage, the pressure. Wow. Like, at first, I didn't believe in him as much because I didn't know what he could do at first, right? This was a character that took a hot minute. Like, if we did this, like, day one or something, I would say Berserker is here at highest or maybe even here at lowest, right? Because I just didn't know. And then, oh, okay, this works. Oh, okay. And yeah, he's definitely a higher tier character for their show. Like, absolutely. Have people managed to incorporate conversion shenanigans to the fullest? For him? Probably not. We probably still got further to go yet. And he's another character because he always has great health. His ability to instant overheal, Edhew is always there. His ability to like cancel on the gimmick and the pressure and the whatever is always there. He's good. He's very good. And yeah, yes, if you screw up, you make mistakes, bad things are going to happen. But in a tier list, we got to take out the human element, right? Like if you drop a combo, you die, sure. But a tier list doesn't care if you drop a combo. Tier lists only care about the actual strength of the character. And to me, the actual strength of this character is high tier. So this is my final characters in this tier. There'll be no more characters added here. So let's talk Ranger. I think Ranger's pretty good. I just don't think he's great. Lower health, obviously. His zoning, while it can be frustrating, is not... It's a damn sight better than launchers, that's for sure. But it's not terrifying, right? If I get hit a couple times, I'm just like, okay, I'll get my way in eventually, right? He does have a couple gaps and a couple strings that I don't think a lot of people are fully aware of. Like anything in the slide is not a true string. So you can just like jump out of that or just reversal it. Things like the Gunnerang, very good. His ability to guard break you, also pretty high, right? But in the end, I just think he's an eminently fair character in the context of this game. In any other game, he would be complete bullshit. But by DnF Duel rules, he's a fair character. He's a fair character. So that said, okay, let's just tear the Band-Aid off on here, right? Yeah. I know you're mad. Just get out of your system. If you're on YouTube, post the comments. Rooflemonger the down players here again. This is Android 16 all over again, right? Let's go. So I think the Crusader is a good character. I don't think he's awful. I do think he's better than I originally gave him credit for. I'll say that. But I knew a lot of the weaknesses he was going to have. I was vindicated 100%. No one wants to talk about those. But okay, so yes, we all know the big bad stuff. Oh my god, he's got the big range. Oh my god, the wall. Less so much the Infinite. The Infinite's going to get patched out, so I'm not too worried about that, right? But the thing is, he has so many weaknesses that a lot of people either aren't exploring or not talking about, right? So let me give you a quick one. So opponent settings. Let's go crouch. Hey, you crouch in this game. Happens a lot of the time. Too bad for him. That means he's getting full comboed by the striker. So if you crouch, you are immediately in 50-50 territory against this character. A character that's better than the Crusader. Why is she better? Because she can do shit like this to him, right? So if she's in your face, which will happen, she can either immediately go low or instant overhead into full combo, and there's no possible way to guess which one's going to be which. It's a legit coin flip. This is the kind of stuff I'm talking about when he has weaknesses, because he has unique weaknesses other characters don't have. A week or two on stream, we went over it, like almost half the cast can instant overhead him into something. Some of them need conversion, right? So it's not just free, but people like the Striker can literally just full combo, just jump jab and dive kick full combo, 50-50 on the spot every time she's beside you. This isn't even like a Dragon Ball Fuzzy, where, like, you know, an older Dragon Ball seasons where you need to snap back and do a setup and all. She can just do this whenever she wants. So that sucks. Also, his reversal. So his reversal, while it is better than some of the other characters like Lost Soul or Lost Warrior, characters like the Grappler, they wish they had this reversal, right? But his reversal is not invincible. His reversal is armored. And what does it mean when it's armored instead of invincible? It means you can literally just walk up to him and throw him. He has no recourse. If you walk up to him and throw him on his wake up, his only recourse is to jump or backdash. That is another character weakness, right? And let's keep the train going. Let's pick a bad character now, right? Let's pick the Grappler. Grappler, I just said he sucked. I think Grappler beats Crusader. Let me show you an example why. Can you fuzzy mash her insta jump? No, if she's beside you, she's going to win. All of Grappler's buttons are too slow. You're not beating her jump jab, which is like 6 frames or whatever it is. I don't even know if it's damn sight faster than what he has. So, you might notice Grappler big as hell, right? Or rather, Crusader big as hell. Not a good thing, because Grappler is trivial for Grappler to hit him with his jumping grab. And once again, I can just throw your ass out of your reversal, because once again, your reversal is armored. It is not invincible. And to that point, since he's so big and I can threaten this on every possible wake up, the only way out he has is the neutral duck. And like before you even get to it, this is a bonus bit of Grappler tech in the Crusader section, I guess. Reversal here. There we go. Oop. There we go. If I knock you down and you backdash, because backdashes are airborne, so I can't throw you while you're backdashing, right? Can't throw you while you're backdashing. Good thing this isn't a grab. This is an unblockable strike. So every time Grappler jumps at Crusader, you can't just mash reversal because it's armored. You will get grabbed out of it. You obviously can't parry because it's not a parryable attack. It counts as a grab that way, even though it's not actually a grab. You can't backdash it because it's not... It is a grab, but it's not a grab because of the strike, so it catches the backdash, right? Like, there's so many things where like I knock you down once and it's potentially that's a game over scenario, right? And if you lose to the grappler, like losing to striker, that's one thing, right? A lot of characters have a rough time against the striker. But if the grappler's got your number, how strong can you really be? Like, I think he's decent. I do think he's decent. Wall's really good. All the wall gimmicks are really good. But is he top tier? No, I do not believe he's top tier. So that's what I got to say. I know none of you guys will believe me. And then like 6 months from now, Goichi will post a tier list and like, oh, yeah. You'll agree with that. So we'll save that for that conversation down the road. The Van Goat next. And this is going to break my heart. Because aesthetically, I think this character is sick as hell. I'm a big Dynasty Warriors fan. And I think this guy is basically a Dynasty Warriors character for multiple reasons. I'm also going to put him low tier. Why? I think this guy is too honest for what this game is. He's got good range. You know, he does that pretty good. But this is DnF Duel. You can't be an honest character in this game. This game is behind an alley with a knife ready to take your money. And Vanguard has to just hand over his wallet. You know? Like, I think he's a super sick and cool character. And oh god, his reversal. Oh my god, his reversal is garbage. Like, I'll say it's better than Grappler's, I guess, because Grappler has the crappy counter. But of like the proper invincible reversals, it's absolutely the worst one. Because as you said, you can just slow pro out. You can run up to him and just do crouching attacks, and he'll just go woo. He's like fishing that spear above your head, but he sure shit isn't anywhere near you. It's a good anti-air. That I'll give it. It's a good anti-air, but so are the rest of the reversals. You see him jump, you just do it. Like, he can hit from a little further away, I guess, but as a reversal in your universal slot, like the universal reversal slot, it's garbo. But yeah, good range, respectable damage. Is a character that can reliably guard break you. These are all decent things. But in this game, he is just too honest. He is just too fair. You look at these characters here. Look at Swiftmaster and all these people. These are not fair characters. They're up here for a reason. These characters are unfair. Right? They are playing a different game than the Vanguard is. The Vanguard is like playing like Street Fighter. And these people are playing Marvel 3. So like, yeah. Vanguard, cool character, but I unfortunately have to put him low tier. Like, I just see no other way around it. Like, that's just the reality of the situation. Okay, so now we're kind of getting near the end of the list. So Lost Warrior, I'm also going to put low tier. I think if he can get a hold of the game, he can do well. And I do think he has one of the best passives in the game. His passive, if you can land the big hit, is a potential touch of death on low health characters. So like, it's very good. It's definitely a great comeback passive. But the problem is, his frame data is garbage. His frame data is a suggestion. It's not like... His fastest button... I had to go down Dust Loop to look this up, and I didn't believe it when I saw it. His fastest button, outside of Universal Throw, because everyone's Universal Throw is 5 frames, his fastest button is 10 frames. Other characters have mediums that are faster than that. And that's his stand light, and that's his single fastest move. 10 frames. Combine the fact he's like Grappler, his reversal's a counter, and it's not a good one, because automatically loses the lows, and does not start up on frame 1, meaning it saves you from exactly 0 things while you're being pressured. You just have to know where the block strings, the gaps in the block strings are, and if you don't, then it's not going to work. So the fact that his fastest button is a slow button for another character just means he gets run over. Just... You're one guard roll away from losing the match every time. Because once someone's in, you are not getting them off. Like, that is just reality. And especially if it's an actual good character, game over. Game over. So I love the concept. I think he's really cool. When he wins, he's winning. I know it sounds redundant, but like, when it works, it works. Which is a stupid thing to say, but it's true, I guess. But it's hard to get it to work, is the problem. So low tier in my opinion. Okay, and the last three, we're just going to bang these out because this is where I think they go. Kunoichi, I think, is a perfectly good character. She controls the screen well, has a lot of fun gimmicks. Frog teleport specifically really good. Flame NATO lockdown really good. All these things. It's just I don't think she's as good as the people above her. That is the only thing I can fault her. What do we got here? Lord Toxic.
For the copious amounts of YT videos I've consumed over the last few years.
Well, hey, thank you very much, friend. God bless. I appreciate it. I'm losing my train of thought here, but thank you again. So Kunoichi, her biggest crime is just I don't think she's as good as these characters. It's just as simple as that. I don't think she's bad at all. But is she as good as Hitman? Is she as good as Striker? As good as Berserker? No, I don't think she is. She's just inherently less scary than those characters. Why is Enchantress low tier? Okay, well, let's talk about it. So Enchantress, she's a hard character. I had to start searching because she's not the character I myself would play. And it turns out nobody really wants to play her. But that's a puppet character thing. So I had to scour, like, I'm looking for, like, okay, who's a good Enchantress? Okay, and I'm looking around. And it took me a while to find good Enchantress players to begin with, right? And here's my biggest takeaway. I think she has the best command grab in the game. Actually, she's a better grappler than Grappler is in that way. Her command grab is the scariest command grab in the game. Like, she'll get so much more off that than the Grappler ever will. So that's cool. But besides that, the puppet, like, man, her puppet is no Eddie, right? She's no Carl. Like, of all the puppet characters I've ever played in fighting games, her puppet ability is the weakest. I am not scared of that puppet for the most part. Like, it's annoying, sure. And besides that, she has a competent zoning plan, but I don't think it's as strong as the Rangers. She's a lower health character as well, right? So it's just, she has a bunch of stuff separately, but when you make it the cohesive package, I just don't believe it's that overwhelming in the end. Have I got my butt kicked by Enchantress players? You bet. I've lost to every character you've seen on this list multiple times, right? But just like, if I even put her one tier up, do I think she's anywhere near as good as Ranger or Crusader? No, I don't. So that says it all right there. Competent, but in a game like DnF Duel, competent doesn't cut the butter. And Ghostblade, right there. Let's talk about it. Ghostblade, no real reversal. His thing goes invincible not on frame 1, which means he has no wake up. That's a big deal. And when you know it, let's look at this tier here. Let's look at this tier and what defines a lot of what this tier is. Grappler, no wake up. Vanguard, bad reversal. Lost Warrior, no wake up. Ghostblade, no wake up, right? You can just block all day. There's no reason to be scared of this guy too, because he has no mix. Like, he has the left, right, but if you hold the guard button, it auto defeats it. So if you are willing to use the guard button in this matchup, his mix-up doesn't exist. And I just think he's too plain. Visually, this guy's a treat. This guy's one of the coolest animated characters I've seen in any fighting game in my life. And yes, the range is huge. Absolutely. But that's it. This is not a game hurting for characters with big range, right? Look at these characters. Trouble, like Swiftmaster, mini dash, stand medium, he covers 65% of the screen, right? This is not a game hurting for characters with good range. And if that's all you got to bring to the table, he has no real mix. His pressure, just down back it. I'll just wait I'll wait my turn. I'm not scared. I'm fine. I'm good. He has no wake up at all. He loses to every possible meaty. Like, just, I think he's better than Launcher Inquisitor. I'll give him that. But yeah, so this is the tier list. So as you can see here, it's a little all over the place. But I do believe in it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done this, right? I do believe firmly Swiftmaster has no equal in this game. He is simply best character. That's all there is to it. That's all there is to it. And no, this is not an ordered tier list. I don't care about orders. People have poisoned your brain with ordered tier lists. If you think one character is better than another, then they don't belong in the same tier. If I thought Grappler was better than Vanguard or Lost Warrior, Ghostblade, Enchantress, Inquisitor, then he would not be in that tier. Ordered tier lists are stupid. So I don't do it. This is not an ordered tier list. Because I just fundamentally disagree with it. Anyways, but yeah, so I think Swiftmaster is the best character with a bullet. I think anyone basically an S or A tier is also very competitive and very strong. Starting in B tier, that's the thing. The B tier characters and below, they have to work for it. You know, they got to block more. They have to hold it a lot more. They got to wait in longer block strings than everyone else because their options aren't as good. Like, these characters, like, it's never impossible to win. Like, every character can win. But these characters, it takes more for them to win. Launcher struggles a lot harder than Ranger just to do the basic zoning game, you know? And even then, Ranger, who's nominally a zoning character, still has to walk on eggshells around Swift Master, even from full screen, because it just takes one shield, runs forward. Either he can absorb a lot of the basic shots, or he's so low to the ground, the other stuff, like he low profiles it, right? Like, it's crazy. But yeah, so in the end, this is the tier list. Agree? Disagree? I would love to hear your opinion in the comments below. Once again, this is my opinion. You don't have to agree. So don't freak out, please. I haven't done a tier list in a while because people freak out all the time, right? But I do believe in these placements. Some of these, I've even fairly recently changed my mind, right? Before I personally learned Troubleshooter and like started playing with them myself, I would not have put him there. I would have put him here. Like, before I started playing him. Then I started playing him and started realizing what he can do and how strong, I don't want to call it zoning necessarily, but how strong just grenade screen control is. And I'm like, oh, okay, this guy's really good. Because a lot of characters cannot deal with it. Even characters in this tier, like Hitman, who I think is a fantastic character. Hitman struggles versus Troubleshooter. Hitman could do very little against constant grenade spam. He just kind of has to groove on it, right? So even within the tiers, I think some people have really good and really bad matches. But that is my opinion. So let me know what you think. Drop a like if you would. That'd be great. And otherwise, well, my friends, we're at the end of the video. So thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well. And go out and play some DnF Duel.